The tank continues for the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Pelicans are no longer hiding their intentions to tank. This can no longer be described as an ethical tank. The organization has sent a clear message to the NBA: we are not trying to win. Now, the reason the NBA hasn't taken notice is that the Pelicans always lose anyway, so it's not all that clear if they're actually tanking or if this is just another season of huge embarrassing failure. Last night, Dejounte Murray tore his Achilles. Without a doubt, he's going to be out the rest of the regular season, probably the start of next season, and more than likely, Dejounte Murray, I hate to say it, but he will probably never be the same player. Vast majority of cases, an Achilles injury is a death sentence for an NBA career. DeMarcus Cousins was one of, if not the most dominant big man in the league. January 2018 tears his Achilles, never the same player. This was a non-contact injury for Dejounte Murray, meaning there was nothing the Pelicans could do to prevent it. It wasn't anyone's fault. You can't blame the medical staff. You can't blame the Pelicans' pretend head coach Willard. It was just a freak injury. For 6 years now, David Griffin and the Pelicans, they have been treating Zion Williamson like a fragile child to prevent injuries just like this. Now, sometimes it was warranted because Zion was acting like a petulant child. They didn't want him playing back-to-back games because he was overweight, or as some people would call it, fat. They didn't want to overexert him because he was skipping rehab sessions and practices. But right now, Zion Williamson, he is in the best shape of his career. I saw him personally the other night. The dude is a machine. With the shape that he is in right now, Zion could be the most dominant player in the NBA. And when he's actually allowed on the court, he is. The 25 to 30 minutes that he is playing about once a week right now, Zion is unstoppable. I watched the other night as Daniel Gafford and PJ Washington tried to double Zion every possession in the paint. PJ Washington is an elite defender. Daniel Gafford is like King Kong. There was no stopping Zion Williamson. Matter of fact, Pelicans win that game the other night if Zion was actually allowed to play. But they kept pulling him off the floor. He'd play 5 or 6 minutes, then he was gone. Question is, why? Question for the last 6 years has been why. Now we have an answer. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Yesterday, Zion Williamson spoke with local media in New Orleans. He was asked about his minutes restriction. He was asked about not playing in back-to-back games. Now, you got to remember, this dude has taken a lot of shit over the years for his inability to stay on the floor. In the Pelicans' defense, Zion was mostly at fault. But this time, he appears to be healthy. This time, he's in the best shape of his career. And he's still not playing consistently. Zion told the media why. Watch for yourself.
Let me make this clear to everybody out there. If I can play in the back-to-backs, I would. I physically, yes, I can. But I work for the Pelicans. They have decided that based off the numbers, it's not smart to do that right now. So, if that's what they feel, I'm rocking with them on that. But yes, if I could play in a back-to-back, I would.
Now, most in the media are claiming that this is load management. The Pelicans are sitting Zion intentionally. He wants to play, but the evil white man is preventing him from playing. This is not load management. I can understand why you would come to that conclusion. I mean, if you look at the injury report, Zion has the immune system of a flea. Dude's got the flu at least once a week. But this has nothing to do with load management and everything to do with the Pelicans tanking. If you have been following my channels for a while, you know how critical I have been of the Pelicans organization. Willard Green, Dana Griffin, Bryson Graham, or whatever the hell his name is, the pretend general manager. He's got the title of general manager, but he's really just the head janitor. This organization is a flaming ass fire. It is extremely rare that the Pelicans actually do something right, but this is one of the rare cases where they are doing the right thing. There is no reason for the Pelicans to win games this season. This season is about building to next season. You've got a potential all-star in Trey Murphy. You need to see if Zion can stay fully committed. I know the fan base wants Willie Green to be fired, but why? You have the most elite loser in the NBA coaching a team that should not be winning. Why in the hell would you want to fire Willard right now? Billy Green is doing his job. He's losing. The Pelicans are doing exactly what they need to be doing, which is trying to get the number 1 pick in the draft. Problem is, I don't think the NBA is going to allow that to happen. Well, KC, what do you mean allow it to happen? The draft is a lottery. It's random. Yeah. This league has players and officials fixing games. You really think they're not manipulating the draft? The last 2 times that the Pelicans were given the number 1 pick, they turned it into a shit sandwich. We have 2 decades of evidence that proves this organization is incompetent. But the good news for the Pelicans is this is a very deep draft. Top 4 players could potentially be superstars, so you don't necessarily need the number 1 pick. But either way, Pelicans right now are doing the right thing. There's absolutely no reason for them to win games. But give me your thoughts on this. Are the Pelicans holding Zion Williamson back to intentionally lose? If so, is that the right decision? Or do you think that creates a culture of losing? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.